What is a computer skill everyone should know/learn? To actually read what the computer is saying to you instead of clicking on OK or cancel right away without thinking. It's an advice that my stepfather gave me when I was young, and it helped me a lot over the years. The first bit of advice I can remember my father giving me is don't keep clicking expecting that to make anything happen faster. Click once, and wait. Saw my ex click yes on an "Are you sure you don't want to save?" assignment that she spent the past 3 hours doing. And no, autosave was not turned on. Some years ago, I was watching my mother input values into a web form. For each field, she went and moved her mouse over the new field she wanted to add info to and then click on it. After a few times of observing this behavior, I asked her if she knew that tabbing would move to the next field. She didn't. So tabbing and Shift+Tab to go back to the last field. How to use incognito browser. Not only for porn, but to log into an account on a computer that isn't yours so the information isn't saved. Adding to that, if the computer is yours and you are inviting guests who need your computer often, you can set up a guest account for them. I personally use it for preserving my desktop. I use it for Christmas shopping as well if it's on a shared computer. Keeps the ads from targeting me based on what I was looking for and tipping off the wife. Recognizing phishing attempts. Hell, recognizing any sort of incoming scam. I was pretty proud and surprised a few months ago. I got an email from a pretty legit looking address, but something about it felt fishy, so I forwarded it to our phishing department. Everything looked good, but the person it was from had literally never asked me to click on a link before, so it got my spidey senses going. The filter always catches that stuff, so I was really surprised that something like that got through, so I fully expected them to tell me it was legit. They replied back almost instantly that it was a test. They'd sent that email to around half of our 50,000 employees, spoofing the from to be a person in your reporting structure, and the email address was our company name with a hyphen and a word related to our field. And I was one of only 50 or so that actually forwarded it properly. Over 2,000 people clicked on the link, and another few hundred put their email and password in when prompted. Needless to say, we've had a lot of training on picking out phishing attempts since. Though it likely won't do any good. Yes, even simple things like learning to recognize the top-level domain and the subdomain in a URL or email address before clicking anything will get you a long way. How to advanced search and reverse image search on Google. Tell me more. I hate how you can't search for specific resolutions in Google Pictures anymore. Now there's just an advanced search 5 menus in that can do it, but it sucks. I was surprised to learn that there were people who didn't know Ctrl+F, or SMDF for Mac users, was a thing. Extremely useful for finding a particular word/phrase in a large wall of text. I once had a coworker who didn't know this and was surprised on how I could complete certain Excel lists so quickly or find information in them. She always zoomed them up to 300% and then read each column one by one. This is something that I learned only last month. I sarcastically thanked my friend for telling me about it, and he said there was no reason for me not to have already known about it. How to clean their computers, software and hardware. It's amazing how much some of the machines out there are struggling due to dust and unused software. I just dusted my PC for the first time in over a year. Now it doesn't sound like a jet when I play Skyrim. Any YouTube videos you recommend, or tips? How to turn off the startup option on 99% of their programs. Your computer takes forever to start because you have 237 programs trying to boot in the background. Edit, here's a quick video. Also, turn off your computers daily, especially if they are covered in dust inside. Surfing the web and other things will build up junk files in your computer for various reasons. I scan mine every day, defrag weekly. Neither ever takes longer than a minute or two, unless I go a while without doing it. Edit 2, I have several old 1TB HDDs I have for extra space. I'm a student. Those I defrag because I constantly save, edit and delete files from there. It annoys me to no end when I'm asked to work on someone's computer, reboot it, and Spotify of all things is loading at startup, among things like Zoom, and takes forever for me to close it. All Mac users. I have a handful of things at startup, a fan monitoring utility, Dropbox, OneDrive, an antivirus, and Paragon NTFS. All are more lightweight feeling at startup on a Mac than a single instance of Spotify. I intentionally turn off the reopen windows when logging back in checkbox on any computer I touch. On Mac it's System Preferences Users and Groups Login Items. Windows key plus Shift plus S to create a new snip. Very handy to share just a bit of your screen and quicker than screenshots. This is useful. I'm always snipping stuff. Such a useful shortcut. CMND Shift 4 for Mac. I see this in mainly older generations, but I see it at people my age too. People have no clue how to make a PowerPoint, change your home search engine, zoom in / zoom out on pages, how to copy paste, how to print, and will even type Google in the Google search bar. These are basic skills everyone should have nowadays. Computer literacy is the right term. We are approaching a world where without those skills you are about as useful in the working world as somebody who is not literate, aka can't read. I'm 15 and guilty of typing Google in the Google search bar sometimes by accident lol. How to clean a laptop. If your 3-year-old laptop is reaching 94 degrees Celsius while watching Netflix, it is time to invest like 45 minutes to just clean out the dust. That gave me a much more significant performance increase than the time I downloaded extra RAM. I want to learn how to clean my laptop on the inside, but I'm too scared to break something. There is too much dust in here to take it every time to the technician to clean it. What are your favorite tips on cleaning, however? Got any helpful sources for this? My house is super dusty and I should probably be cleaning my laptop every few weeks or so. Control plus Shift plus V pastes stuff without formatting. Before I discovered this, I pasted stuff into Notepad for 15 years, before pasting it somewhere else. Doesn't work in Excel for me, just tried I paste, then hit Ctrl again to bring up the paste menu, V again to paste as values / without formatting. I do this to get rid of formulas, all the time. Edit, I'm perfectly cool with my method, and if you're going to suggest an alternative, please don't try to get me to use the mouse. I won't. It's bad. Does not work in Outlook. It drives me nuts every time I send an email at work. I usually have at least 2 or 3 things I need to paste over. I instinctively use Ctrl plus Shift plus V, but then I always still have to stop typing, use the mouse, and select the paste options. Why are you so cruel, Outlook? How to Google the solutions to your basic computer problems. I'm the youngest person in my office by about 10 years, and everyone comes to me for IT advice. But all the expertise I have is knowing how to Google the solution, because I don't know shit about computers. Research is a skill many don't or can't be bothered to have. People will look for the easy way out for their problems. I only know how to Google unimportant stuff. Are you on Microsoft Word and then realize you are typing in all caps? Highlight the text you want changed and press Shift plus F3. Control Shift A cycles through uppercase, lowercase, first letter capitalized. How to not only clear your history, but your cache. This is a requirement before my IT department attempt to resolve an issue. Where I work, our IT department has created a shortcut on everyone's desktop that closes all internet browsers, clears cache and cookies, deletes temp files, and sets plugins back to default. I can't tell you how much headache that has saved me over the years. Basic Excel for budgeting. Piggybacking off of this, if you are a college grad transitioning into the working world, you should become fluent in Excel because it's something you will use every day. depending on the industry. Find a set of data online and play around with pivot tables, VLOOKUPs, index/matches, SUMIFs, etc. and try to do so with only the use of your keyboard, because if you can learn the shortcuts needed to navigate a workbook without the use of a mouse, you'll be probably 50% more efficient than your peers clicking around in a workbook. I took a class for this. I remember nothing. Subscribe for more hot Reddit takes in your inbox, guaranteed.